I have a lot of Apple products, but there are a few things that really annoy me, especially about the MacBook Pro. First, starting with the aluminum body. It's great. I mean, it feels good, but then there's something about metal when you use it with, say, the in-case cover. If you don't put it on right and take it off right, it can dent the cover like this. That's where the cover attached to the frame, and if you don't take it off just right, it can actually bend the top cover. So that's something that I really don't like about it. But the next thing, this is, for me at least, this is the model that has the old keyboard. I never really minded the keyboard itself. The keyboard was kind of nice to use personally, but what I really didn't like, and what I don't understand why other people rave about it, is the trackpad. I've always liked the trackpad on the MacBooks before they made this gigantic monstrosity. The problem with this trackpad is that what they took away by making it so big is the extra bit of metal up here that you could use to rest your fingers on and not activate the trackboard. So now you're forced to hover your hands above the trackpad, and that kind of creates strain on your hand. And that's what I noticed. That's the first thing I noticed when I started using it, is that I had more strain on my hand. My hand was actually hurting more from using the trackpad versus the keyboard. So I think if they just shrank this down a little bit and put a little extra bezel up here so that you can rest your hand again like all the older MacBooks had, I think it'd actually be a more comfortable trackpad to use. I don't really understand why you need this much space. It doesn't really add a lot of functionality for me. I don't know, maybe that's a personal thing, but I really don't need that much space because the sensitivity on the trackpad's so good. You really don't need this much. So that was a big thing. That thing is probably, the bezel, the lack of a bezel here is probably the biggest issue. And the last thing is that I think most people would agree that the strip up here, the touch interface that they put in, is practically useless and adds probably quite a bit of extra money to the product. So that's probably the third thing that I would complain about. Other than that, you know, using Mac OS itself is a pleasure. I wish they would just take away a couple of these features, and you know, it would be an excellent product. Again, I don't know about the aluminum body. Maybe they could, it would be kind of cool if they tried something completely unique, like went Lenovo style and used the carbon fiber body. I think people would be pretty intrigued by a product like that. So yeah, anyways, just some thoughts. Thank you.